Before I do this though, someone had mentioned, hey Brandon, is it possible to build over this thing, like over your hub, so you can wind up blocking it off? And unfortunately, to kill that hope, I believe it was Jim, one of the guys from the Ark server that I play on, said that you cannot build above your hub, which we're gonna find out right now. So if I was to put a foundation even a little bit higher up like this, and then try and put one over here. Wait, what? Wait a second. What's gonna happen? I didn't prepare for a clickbait thumbnail on this. Oh lord, wait a second. 3, 2, 1, 8! Does he just phase through? I gotta say, I surprised myself with how good I am at ruining things. We've been doing this series for just about 13 episodes, and I've already managed to completely segregate my audience to half of you guys liking parkour, and the other half absolutely being sick of it already. Hats off to me, right? So I'm gonna settle with you guys. Because the parkour episodes, for one, are already limited in themselves, I'm not gonna be doing another parkour course for a while, and once this one reaches level 10, that's it finished. I'm gonna publish it on Reddit, and we go from there, just continuing on with the game. But in the meanwhile, until I finish it, any parkour-themed episode, i.e. this one, is only gonna be one that has a boatload of content. The last few episodes, I've shown you guys the development from level 1, which I did spice up that I'm about to show you, level 2 and 3, which are underneath here, and then the break between level 3, which is the jump pads, where it flings you over to the second platform, the second building, which I haven't built any yet. That's a lie, actually. So here's what I've been working on, and I apologize if I stumble up on my commentary. I'm just very eager to show you. Welcome to, what's been my project over the last couple of days. You can see level 1 spruced up a little down there, but this is the second building housing level 4, level 5, level 6, and I'm currently working on level 7. So we've done quite a lot, and I'm gonna show you now, and I'm very excited. Last episode, I told you that depending if you jumped on the left or right one, you would have your own path to pick. Now, that is still holding up true. You can't land on that. I've tried before. I've tried several times. I've ran through this thing maybe 30 times to make sure that there's no possible way you could hop up on top of there once you jump off from this. So once you pick left or right, you're stuck here. This is level 4, and it is directly mirrored on the other side. It's not this same thing, where it's just copy and pasted over. It's mirrored. So this one would be over there. That one would be over there. I don't need to explain what mirroring is, but there's a reason why I decided to mirror these rather than make them just one parkour itself, and I am probably more excited to show you guys that than anything else. It's also a little tie-in with Portal 2, which like I said, I'll demonstrate in a bit, but this is level 4. It's not terribly hard. It's a little bit more about endurance than anything, since none of these jumps are real hacky, and as long as you jump off pretty much at the end of all of them, you'll make the next jump. They're not too sticky. They're not like, oh, well, I thought I made that jump, but I didn't. It's pretty challenging. Now, this is another one of those tricks where this jump is never used, but it's there to make you think that it is, because your brain immediately is like, wait a second, why would I go to the higher one from here? I want to hit the lower one, right? But that's not the case. You go up to the higher one, because if you try going to that one, you would fall to your death. Actually, a little point that I want to show you guys about this course. I think I mentioned it before, but if I haven't, take a look at the bottom left, right over down there. My health is at 3. Little fun fact about this game, if you guys didn't know. If you take damage, it will regenerate up to 3 hearts. So if I was to fall down to half of a heart, it'll heal me back up to 3, but that's it. It won't go any higher than that. So I had to make this course because there's no checkpoints in this game, and if you die, you're basically sent back to level 1, where most jumps, in fact, the large majority of them, if you fall fairly, like you don't go out of your way to get yourself killed or to fall off the map, you won't lose more than 3 hearts. That's why this is ramped up right here instead of just being flat all the way down. Because if I jumped off from here as far as I could that way, I'd kill myself. But if I just jumped off like this, I wouldn't take more than 1.5 hearts. It's a tedious and annoying thing about making sure that everybody survives while playing this. Satisfactory, I know you're not a parkour game quite yet, if you ever do take this on, but please allow us checkpoints or respawn points. That'd be beautiful. I love you. Anyway, moving on. So that's the base jump over here, and this is something that I tease that's a little bit more frequent, level 7. Wall climbing, rock climbing. I should say rock climb more than anything because it's very similar to rock climbing. Hop over here, and if you... Like I said, didn't die. Right, so I made it back up here, second try. Not going to show you, though, because you won't believe me, but I promise you it was second try. I promise, I swear to God. I want to show you guys how this mechanic is done because it's really cool. And when I say that there is just enough room to jump up here and then slip immediately off if you move any further back, I mean just enough. It's a beautifully manipulated mechanic. So how you do it is you put a foundation behind that wall. There's no foundation there because I removed it. You don't need to keep it. The cool thing about walls, or foundations rather, is that you can put a conveyor pole anywhere that you want. It's just a free placement thing, and I love that. You don't need to do anything else. So, say I've got a conveyor pole right there. You take that, and you remove the foundation, and you place a wall down. Now, it has to be where the paneling side is facing you, not the X, because you can see when the X is facing you, there's a good amount of it exposed, but when you place the paneling side down, it cuts through it just enough to get that rock climbing edge. So you can hop up on top, but if you scoot any further back, okay, maybe not any further back, but like a good amount back, you'll slip right off. And I love it. I just love how much what is it called? The engine, the movements, the player movements, the building, everything is just set up so wonderfully to be excellent at parkour building and manipulation. So all you really have to do with this is just hug the wall, make sure that you don't fly off from it. It's easy if I do say so. And then there is this right here. And this is the end of level 4. And you're taking on a little scenic route. Of course, this is meant to be open, a little breathing point, because we've done walkways before, but I wanted this to just be like, hey, long as you don't go slipping off, and this proves my point again, you can definitely get yourself killed, but you have to go the extra mile to do it. Hop up here, and you're stopped. I didn't want people to fly off this part because you need to survey what's below you before you do. Both of these combine and connect up to each other. You hop on here, and this is where the left and right with that little middle part is just perfect for me. There's a Portal 2 reference in here that I'll show you in a moment. Actually, I'll show you now. So this is a clip from the last mission in the game. You're doing a little escape. I won't say much if you haven't played the game. No spoilers, but I've always loved that part where you jump through the walkway on the catwalk because it's so narrow and it just shows how well the game is played, because to make your character and to make a player think instinctively to look above themselves is a really difficult thing to do in a video game, and Portal 2 just does it perfectly. So I love that jump, and this is a reference to it. You hop down here and you're sent through the middle, landing perfectly through all of this. Now, obviously, if you drop down there, that's a reset back to level 1, but unless you physically take the S key and pound that shit, you're not gonna miss the jump. The cool thing about these jump pads is that the pathway is very well set. Doesn't matter if you land on the bottom or the top of it, the corner, whatever, the trajectory, you'll wind up hitting this platform. So this is still like the, I guess, intermission between level 4 and level 5. Just a catwalk, take some time, scenic route again, take a look, survey the beautiful area, and then you come up here and surprise, surprise, another catwalk. Again, breathing room, because after you've done level 4, you're gonna need a break. For those that have never played this, or for a person that's never played it before, level 4 will probably take you a little bit of time. So there's your breather. And this is level 5 that I call Snakes and Ladders, or you can be cultured and call it Eels and Escalators. How does this work? Well, you have the eels, which are the conveyor belt Mach 2, the same pattern that I've been saying from day one. Oh, I should also mention that these ramps are really for no other purpose than to just allow you to see over. You don't jump up here. There's nothing to do. It's just if you want to hop back over here and redo the jump, it's possible. You want to willingly go back to level 4, it's possible from this point. But I wanted to make this another emphasis on the thing that we've been doing since level 1. Hop to the left or right side of the goddamn conveyor belt so that you don't go flying off. But anyway, this one is a little hard in one spot, and it's one of my favorite things I've done. Other than that, there's a couple areas where you can cheat through this, and you're kind of enticed to because you can't get to the finish by cheating, but there's a couple shortcuts you can take. And I've already messed up right there. A trick with ladders in this game is they're easier to hold on to. In fact, you almost snap to them if you hold spacebar. I guess spacebar is considered the, like, clench on to something. But if you just move forward on something, you won't latch onto it. How is my vocabulary gonna make sense of this? Hold spacebar and you won't fall off. This is a reference back to the end of level 3. It's a mechanic that I've already shown, but you hop off here, you don't jump, you can if you want to, and you'll still make it probably. Hold spacebar the entire time, and you simply swing like a tightrope through these, and then you swing onto this, and you're good. Hop back up here, and this one is pretty much the end of the level. After this, it's a walk in the park. There's 2 ways you can do this. You can always hop over to the left and do an S jump, which is very easily possible. From there over to there, can demonstrate. Very easy with how cool the, or how seamless the mechanics are in this game. You can also, this is a weird mechanic that I haven't done much with. If you just jump into this, notice how I'm able to hang on to it, like I'm on the side, but pressing W, I can't get in the middle. It's weird. But if I press space and hold W at the same time, I'm allowed to jump up on it. Like my player falls backward a bit or gets flung backward and then comes right back up. So you can also climb it like a ladder as well. That's my little interpretation of here's the snakes, but they're also the ladder if you want to make them that way. Anyway, after you've done that, you go on another little leisurely walk through here. Hands completely off. No impeding death this time. Because again, the cool thing about these is that if you have a jump pad that goes just upward, you're not going to go flying forward. It completely kills your momentum and you just hop up. From there, you hop up on this conveyor belt. Again, nothing more you have to do except hold spacebar right here. And you're on to level 6. This was originally going to be a continuation to level 5 until I realized that it was just too goddamn difficult. So from here, again, there's no real reason you should ever fall back to level 5 unless you willingly jump off of this, which you won't die from this distance. Want to make sure of that. But I've wanted to do a checkerboard pattern with the conveyor belt since I started this, and all of these are going in different directions in a pattern. So the first row is horizontal, goes to the right. Second row vertical, goes forward. Third row horizontal, basically right, forward, left, back. Right, forward, left, back. Horizontal, vertical, and you just try and find a way through because your character, believe it or not, is pretty dummy thick. So, say for example, if I was to go over to this conveyor belt right here that has one pierced directly through the middle, you can't climb on the right side of this because you'll get pushed off no matter how hard you try. So it's pretty much just, again, this one's not too punishing. You're likely gonna have to repeat it a ton of times. I blocked off a lot of different ways. One of my favorites is the way that I'm showing you right now. Still have to do a little bit of traversing while you're in the air. I guess it's more like mid-jump movements I wanted to teach people on this. Like, be sure to use your WASD keys while you're in the air, not necessarily before you make the jump. And then after that, this is, again, one of the only parts where you can get punished after you successfully complete 2 levels. You jump off right here onto this. You can fall, and you'll have to repeat level 5 and 6 over again, but it's very likely that you won't fall. You make the jump, and you're sent over level 6 onto level 7. That looks like a cluster, but this is the wall climbing, rock climbing that I hinted at a bit during level 4. Now this I wanted to make really freaking high up, but the problem with that is that you can't fit a U-jelly landing pad in a 1x1 because it's bigger than that. As you can see, it's a very large object, so I didn't want to compromise this and make it a 2x2 or a 3x3 since that would defeat the purpose. And it could only be 7 high because I don't know why it's so short. I guess it's fine, but anything taller than 7 high up, your player will die, or rather lose more than 3 hearts. And again, I want to make sure that you won't die in this, and it's very easy to fall off of this whole area, so death was something I kind of had to avoid. But hop up here. As you can see, it's a little bit of a slippery ride, but this will be a 3-parter. This is the first part, obviously. And then once you're done with that, you go up to these 3, and then the doorway right here, make a swing, and you're on to 2 that I haven't done yet, hence the reason why there's a bunch of foundations. I'll be placing a bunch of conveyor poles down around here, and then walling it up and calling that the level. But just to demonstrate, that doesn't look very tall, but if I was to jump off from here at max height and fall down, you can check my health, I'm below 1, and unfortunately enough, if I was 1 foundation higher up, it would take off an entire heart. It's kind of like Minecraft in a way where you could survive a 4-block fall, but after that, every 2 blocks it chunks an entire heart, or every 1 block. It's very penalizing very quickly in this game, which sucks, but hey, you know. So that's the course. There's not a lot more to it than what we have right now. I'm trying to figure out what I want to do for level 8, 9, and 10. Ideally, I'll wind up unlocking Mach 3 conveyor belts for level 8, because we've only used up to 2 for right now. And then level 10 might have Mach 4, depending on when I unlock them. I'm not sure. But, yeah, that's the course. And I am loving it so far. The only thing I might change is level 5. While it is cool and challenging, it does seem a bit pointless, where the theme so far has been every level kind of looks like it has something related to it with machinery. But a common thing that I did through this is that all the power poles are connected from the coal generator out here, which I don't even know if I showed off or not. The coal generator, I put a splitter on it, and it's powering this entire thing, so we're not using biofuel anymore. It's a thumbs up for me. And I think, actually, now would be a good time to show you guys my shadow over there. The revised level 1. There's not a lot more to it that's different. It's just, it looks prettier and more intentional. Because level 1, for the longest time, was my first ever attempt at a parkour, and I just built it off of this. But now I made it feel like it was a part of this whole thing. So that's level 1. These are all the same. I changed up the conveyor belt jump to just be more in a circle, instead of like the weird loop that was on one side that looked kind of off. But now it looks a little cooler. In fact, this kind of looks like the, you know, the outline of this conveyor belt kind of looks like the dude that's flying around. Where is he? Where's the guy? Yeah, him. Tell me it doesn't look similar in a way. Oh, maybe not. I can... No. This would be him if he was fat. Yeah, if the dude was like really fat, that would be him. But nah, it's not sharp enough. That would need to be protruded out a little bit more for it to be the same. And this over here is really nothing. I mean, it's more just to add something underneath this intimidation factor when you're flying from level 4 to level 5. But it's just a storage container. And then if you climb up here for whatever reason, there are poles and there's a splitter. There's a little box right here that calls you a hoe for obvious reasons. And then there's a couple boxes right here. It's just meant to be like, oh, cool. Any operators working on this part will feed some items from this thing into here and send it down into the storage machine doing whatever. It's just kind of there. There's not really a point other than that, but I mean, maybe I could give it more of a purpose. Again, we'll probably do some fine-tuning on this whole thing before I'm done, but that's the parkour so far. And I feel like now is probably a good time to mention a really cool idea that a person from my Discord has. They go by the name of Cage Wolf, and when I showed off a teaser of this on there, they thought it would be really cool if whenever I tear down my factory over here, because I mentioned that I want to before I pull up the map, I need to get that. I'm gonna get that right now while I'm talking. There's no way in hell I'm letting that just stay there. Where would it be? Right from here? There we go. I said that I wanted to remove all of this when I post the map because nobody needs to see all this random shit. But the thought was, what if I made my new factory into this? Like I made a separate save file that was only for me and I intertwined my factory into this parkour course. So like the ramps that go up to level 4 underneath the jumps themselves, maybe those could be like actual properly working ramps that carry items through. And I don't know, there's just a lot of really good potential to do it. We could have some conveyor belts going through here that carry iron and coal. Maybe that could actually carry some items up. Maybe we put a conveyor belt Mach 4 and then we put a splitter through there, and then the items will be transferred. So that's a really unique idea, because I don't want my factory to be boring, man, and I think it would be really cool to try and intertwine the factories somehow. We'll probably have an easier time doing it with this building than this one, because this one's a clusterfuck, to be honest, but this one's a little bit more spaced out and willing to become a factory if we wanted to. But that's just my idea. I've got a lot of plans for this place, and while I know that exploration is a big part of this, and likely the reason that even though we can make a factory here, I would definitely want to move my factory at some point to one of the other 2 biomes, because I haven't shown you guys exploration really at all. Finding the coal was like the most exploration I've done, and trust me, there are a lot of very beautiful, gorgeous areas of this map. In fact, why don't I show you by hopping up to the top of the parkour? Since it looks a lot cooler from up there, I'll just make a couple of temporary ladders up to this point, but this is just a really, really beautiful view of some other areas in the map. Check this out. I mean, it's still green, right? You can see there's a lot of, there's like blur over there, and then I don't think any of this is actually part of the map because it looks a bit too artificial, even though there's a couple of balloons over there and what looks to be a bridge. Maybe it is, but I doubt there'd be that many weird looking trees, but just take a look at it, man. Beautiful waterfall over there. Waterfalls along the whole thing that are not just out in the open where you can't access. You can actually go over there. And then take a look at all this, dude. Like here, let me, can I make just like a quick little, there we go. Just real quick, just let me get on top of here and take a look. Just look at this. Look at how damn cool it looks, man. This whole thing, there is so much to explore, and you can barely see any of it because of the render distance. I feel like I'm showing you on Java Minecraft, like medium. This map is huge. Remember, there's a bloody desert somewhere. There is like this purple weird oasis, which might be over there, but I don't even know where the desert is, man. Like, there's so much land to traverse and check out. I'm so excited. To think that the farthest that we've gone was like landing, I think our starting point was somewhere right on that hill, I believe, and then we went over there, and then we went over here, and then we went just out to there, which is still on my render. We've explored almost nothing, man. There's so much to explore. And with that being said, I'm gonna jump off and kill myself so I can reset. Remember what I said. I'm still on no deaths, but parkour deaths, they don't count. Nothing, they don't count, because my death count would be at like 30 if they counted, but so far, I've not died by any threats or any unintentional manner. Now, since I'm probably going to wind up doing the rest of the level, not the rest of them, but at least the next couple of levels off camera, we're going to finish up level 7, and then 8 and 9 are, I don't know when they'll be off camera, but I know they need to be. I want to unlock Logistics Mach 3, which, by the way, if you get bothered over the fact that I say Mach instead of Mark, okay? Hey, Mark. Nobody gives a shit, Mark, okay? Conveyor belt Mach 3, not Mark. Now, this is going to be interesting because it is only level 3, but if you look on tier 3 with Mach 2, level 2 travels makes resources go at 120 per minute versus 60. So first it was 60 and then 120, which stepping on it for a player did take you at twice the speed. Mach 3 makes things travel at 270. That's more than 4 times the default. So I'm kind of eager to see what this is going to be like. But in order to get this, we need to get motors, which I believe is through steel production. Oh, jeez. Maybe we're not going to be able to do this quite yet. All right, what do we need for this milestone? 50 rotors, 10 modular frames, 1,000 wire, and 200 cable. And then the motors. Motor creates a mechanical force that is used to move things from machines to vehicles. Steel ingots, we're going to need that. Steel beams with a foundry smelts 2 resources into alloy ingots. 2 resources? What, do you combine something up to get steel? I don't know anything about that. Oh, made from iron ore that's been smelted with coal. Oh. Interesting. Huh. Okay. Well, let's unlock this then. So I wish there was a way for me to add a plus this, but I need 50 rotors, 10 frames, and 1,000 wire. Okay, that's not too bad. All right, let's go ahead and load up our first entry into tier 4. Haven't even finished tier 3 yet. There's a rebar gun that's like for, oh shit, I didn't even show you guys. There is a rebar gun, and then I think there's also, oh yeah, the rebar gun. This is completely new. I actually got this because on my own, and I wish that I didn't, I went over to the MAM and finished the scanning on the alien carapace. So it gave me the option for a rebar gun. I thought it was going to be like we use our scanner to find hostiles, but no, it just gives you like another way of fighting against them, which is pretty cool. So we'll do that soon. Anyway, 10 modular frames. Before I do this though, someone had mentioned, hey Brandon, is it possible to build over this thing, like over your hub so you can wind up blocking it off? And unfortunately, to kill that hope, I believe it was Jim, one of the guys from the Ark server that I play on, said that you cannot build above your hub, which we're gonna find out right now, and I believe that's definitely the case, because this game is very strict when it wants to be about, what is it, encroaching on another whatever. So if I was to put a foundation even a little bit higher up like this, and then try and put one over here, wait, what? Wait, what? Wait, he was wrong. Oh my god. Wait a second. Oh, don't kill me, please. Ah, shit. Oh, wow. Clutched on to victory right now. What happens? What's gonna happen? I didn't prepare for a clickbait thumbnail on this. Oh, Lord, wait a second. We about to hit the exploit yeet. 3, 2, 1, yeet! Was late on it a little bit. Pod will return. Does he just phase through?
Foundry and improved miner included to ensure efficiency of new pipelines. A collection of new, more complex parts.
That's whack.
For crafting.
Yeah, whatever. Alright, fine. You don't do anything. So, what we all expected, it would just phase on through. Yeah, okay. Alright, well, goodbye, Pod. Hope you have a great time doing whatever you're doing. That is 10 minutes, and that is steel production done up and ready to go. So we have a foundry, a miner, Mach, Mark II, and steel ingots, which actually, thinking about it, I'm assuming you use steel ingots to make the conveyor belt. Oh, that's scary. Or maybe steel beams? Used most often when constructing a little more advanced buildings. Maybe not steel beams. Probably just steel ingots then. Do you need motors as well for oh, imagine if you needed motors for the conveyor belt. Probably not, though. I hope you don't. Oh, shit. Okay, that's kind of scary. Alright, well, hey, we got it. Let's take a look at it. So, Miner Mach 2. Ooh, okay. So this guy requires 4... what are they called? Encased industrial beams, 10 steel pipes, and cable. As well as the... you guys can... it's right over there. The, portable miner as well, too. I love that you have to take the portable miner with you as well. That's so cute. So, that's... possibly difficult. I don't know how you make an encased industrial beam quite yet. We'll find out. And a foundry, or 3 encased industrial beams, 14 steel pipes, and 8 concrete. Interesting. Is there anything else that we learned up in here that I need to be aware of? Or was that it? That's all in there. I still need to build a tractor. We'll do that soon. Then if we look in here, oh, here we go. Okay. Steel ingot is 3 iron ore. Not, oh, shit. Okay, I guess that makes sense. Yeah. It's just a raw iron ore, not an iron ingot. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. So 3 of those and 3 of the coal gets you 2. Not bad. Steel beam is just 3 steel ingots for 1. Not that expensive. A steel pipe is 1 steel ingot. Oh! So a steel beam is the equivalent of an iron plates, and a steel pipe is the equivalent of an iron rod. Okay, that's easy to understand. An encased industrial beam is 4 steel beams and 5 concrete. Little expensive at that point, but not terrible. A stator is 3 steel pipes and 10 wire. Interesting. Find out what that's used for in a little while. A motor, which we're gonna need a lot of, is 2 rotors and 2 stators. That's definitely a bit expensive. Steel pipes? I guess only, so what? 3 steel ingots and 10 wire So it'd be 6 steel ingots and 20 wire for 1 rotor. That's not terrible. And then I guess you still need the rotors, huh? Yeah, and then a heavy modular frame, 90 screws, 5 beams, 15 pipes, and 5 modular frames. God damn, that is impressive. All right, well, I think we'll get started on that in a little bit here. In that case, I'll probably... Oh, shit, yeah, because we want to make the Miner Mach 2. Well, actually, we need the foundry first. We need steel. But how do we make the steel when it's smelted with coal? But to be able to make the foundry, you already need steel in the first place. So if I go over to my... Unless I'm missing something here, and I might be big dumb. If I go over to my assembler, not the constructor, but the assembler, and I look at the recipes, steel should be in there already. Correct? Not the constructor. The assembler back here. This whole thing's so stationary because I haven't... Nothing... There's no room for anything. I need to add more space. Let's see. Yeah. Wait. No. I'm wrong. I'm very wrong. No, I'm very wrong. So I know you can make the steel ingots just from here with 3 iron ore and 3 coal. Do you have to make it manually before you can automate it? That wouldn't be the weirdest thing in the world, because the foundry smelts 2 resources into alloy ingots. Since there's no other ingots that we're working with, I'm assuming that the foundry is how you do it. You place the foundry down after you make it, and then you could then input coal and... Yeah, okay. That makes sense. Because I guess... Yeah, no, the assembler wouldn't work that way because the assembler is just taking 2... There's no smelting aspect of the assembler. It's just a mechanics work. So, right. Kind of went over my head on that one, but I understand now. All right, well, next episode, we're definitely going to get working up on this. Want to show you guys what I did with the parkour and introduce you to the idea. Let me know what you think about making this my base permanently once I finish it, because I would love to do that. And what I'm likely going to do for level 10 is implement this guy in some way. So that's probably when I make a duplicate of my world. I'm going to move this to wherever level 10 would be as the, like, proper finisher, I guess. So that would really tie in with the, this is my base ordeal. But yeah, thank you all for watching. Take care. And I will catch you all back tomorrow for the next episode of Satisfactory. Shit!